Assalamu alaikum, welcome to 9 p.m. English News Edition Netherlands. Arrival of the President of the Republic in Doha. For international scene, European Union postpones a final vote on compensation on chain pain in Europe. Those are the headlines and welcome to the national news. The President of the Republic, His Excellency Muammar Ghali, arrived at the beginning of the evening at Doha, capital of Qatar, to participate in the work of the summit of the 15th Conference of United Nations on the NLDC Developing Countries Category Development. This conference constitutes a platform for exchange and analysis of causes and challenges that stand in the way of achieving sustainable development in its member states of this organization, which has more than 46 in total, including 33 from Africa, 12 from Asia Pacific and Haiti. The main objective of this summit, which is held every 5 years, accelerating economic development developing countries, and is at the center of effort to achieve, but also to reduce poverty and malnutrition. Several objectives are to be set, in particular the increase in income, the job creation and industrialization, as well as the progress made on the economic plane. A preparatory meeting of the 50th United Nations Conference on Developing Countries was held this morning in the Doha, capital of Qatar. This meeting of levels of foreign ministries of developing countries had captured more than 24 ministries of foreign affairs, including the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Mr. Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, and the Minister of Economy and Industry, Mr. Ilyas Moussa Dawale, the Ambassador of the Republic of Djibouti to the United States of America and permanent representative of our country to the United Nations system, His Excellency Mohamed Siad Douale, and the Ambassador of the Republic of Djibouti to the State of Qatar, His Excellency Tayyip Dubebe Roble, took part in this meeting. The meeting, which is held in the hall of the 50th United Nations Conference on Developing Countries Development, was chaired by the President of Malawi and by the Secretary General of the United Nations, Antonio Guterres, and several representatives of the international organization. Nearly 46 heads of state and government are expected to attend, including the President of the Republic of His Excellency Muammar Ghali, who will take part in this conference at the head of the strong ministerial delegation. During this conference, the world leaders will meet with a private sector, civil society, parliamentarians to promote new ideas, generate new pledge of support and sustainable the implementation and they stimulate on the implementation of the agri commitment through the Doha Agenda for Action, as well as the Doha Agenda for but also to propose a specific initiative and concrete result to be and announced to address specific challenges. The president of the embassy of Ethiopia in Djibouti hosted the ceremony of a commemoration of the 127th anniversary of the Battle of Adwa in Ethiopia. A reception at the embassy was given in honor of the 127th anniversary of the Battle of Adwa, which is celebrated every year on March 2. On this occasion, the Ethiopian ambassador to Djibouti, Perhanu Zegaye, gathered this commemoration. Also saw the participation of the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mohamed Ali Yusuf, the Minister of Infrastructure and Environment, and the Minister of Water, Fishery and Husbandry and Resources, Mohamed Ahmed Awali. 127 years ago, Ethiopia, under the leadership of Emperor Menelik, and who won the victory over the heavily army Italian colonial army of Adwa. In 1860, the Battle of Adwa is known in history as a symbolic legacy of Africa, symbolic resistance where the Ethiopian army won against Italy highly and skilled European colonial invader that later became emblem of later of the struggle for the decolonization in Africa. For all the ambassador of the Ethiopian, first of all, say I would like to thank you on behalf of the federal government, the embassy, and myself for honoring our invitation to celebrate with us the 127th anniversary of the Adwa victory under the motto Adwa Unite Bravery and Endurance. As well as all know, our country Ethiopia has a long civilization and a rich history. This victory is one of the most famous and memorable story events in our long story, while serving as a symbol of struggle and victory for black people in other parts of the world for freedom, equality, and civil rights. Ethiopia has also become a country that fights for freedom and honor blacks. We have also the speech of the Jewish and the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Please listen for more details.
It's a great honor for me to say a few words in this commemoration ceremony of the Adwa victory. I'm really humbled to acknowledge the crucial importance of that battle in 1896 for the history of Ethiopia. Not only did it preserve the independence and sovereignty of the country, but it also opened a new chapter in the consolidation of the unity and the territorial integrity of this great nation. Some may wonder how many lives were lost during the battle. What is the magnitude of the sacrifice made by the Ethiopian people? What were the implications of that colonial war launched by Italy against Ethiopia? These are questions historians have certainly well documented and thoroughly answered. However, I would like to add humbly one or two lessons that I have learned through this epic event. The number one lesson is that there is no price high enough to pay in order to protect the independence and the sovereignty of our countries. Second, the courage of the leadership and the will of the people can move mountains if need be. Three, never underestimate your adversary, whatever his striking power is with regard to his equipment and arsenal. Excellencies and dear friends, history has written Emperor Menelik's name in golden letters for being the mastermind, the commander, and the victorious leader of the Adwa battle. Ethiopia and the Ethiopian people are the depository of this fabulous legacy. Mr. Ambassador, dear brothers and sisters from Ethiopia, congratulations once again and happy celebrations. I thank you.
As part of the second phase and the sixth edition of the Grand Concours Scolaire Section 2022 and 23, the school live exhibition organized very early this morning the latest of the major school competition in the various dedicated centers of the commune of Berzika and Blouse, as well as in the capital and in the interior region. For all basic schools and middle schools meeting in the competition, and centers competed in the different disciplines according to their level of education. For basic education, the candidate wrote dedicate French and Arabic, writing production French and Arabic and mathematics test. For middle education, the program included education competition in French, science, etc., and question for young champion 7, 8, and 9 years, mathematics 7, 9 years, and SVT test will be used to and pre-select the best students in each school. More generally, this mature school competition aims to create a team dynamic and a sense of belonging to a school community, hence the involvement of school leaders and the teaching teams, but also the parents of students who provided invaluable support to their children. In the various municipalities of the capital of the competition took place in the CPS, Angela, Geshamale, PP3 and PP7 school where the inspectors of education eventually organized the running of this competition. For middle school, the CMA and CDFF Guzawa and Hodon 3 served it as the examination center, the opportunity for the school live inspectors, Mr. Amin, Muhammad, accompanied by these inspectors, observed the smooth running of this event everywhere. At the end of the competition, the students ranked first in the various tests qualify for the final phase, which will take place in Rome. It should be noted that this annual meeting mobilizes as usual to encourage heads of establishment, educational advisors, and inspectors. This is called a competition, so to which the Minister of National Education and Vocational Training, Mr. Mustafa Mohammed Mahmoud, to particular importance are part of the perspective of improving the quality of student learning. The School Life Inspectorate would like to thank all people, in the particular the School Life Inspectors and pedagogical advisors who greatly contributed to the success of this school event. The direction of Qadar Alexander has just won the silver medal at the Arab Judo Championship in Doha in Qatar. A salutary performance which once again confirmed the talent of our niche. As a reminder, the Arab Championship brings together the best judocats from Qatar, from Egypt, United Arab Emirates, Jordan, Djibouti, Bahrain, Morocco, Algeria from Iraq, Tunisia, Kuwait, Syria, and Lebanon, a perfect opportunity for participants to test their preparation for the Judo World Championship to be held always in Doha from the month of May in the region of. In the region of Tojora, the workshop was set up the local peace committee. Indeed, this workshop, led by a national consultant, brought together important personalities from the Tojora region and the CMRU of Djibouti, including the Vice President of the Tojora Regional Council, Mr. Abdul Kadir Maki, and the Deputy Prefect, Mr. Habib Jilani. The main mission of this local committee will be to collect information likely to provoke any type of social conflict in the region and deal with the support of the CWRN program of IGAT and the European Union. As indicated above, this workshop aims to constitute in the collaboration with the prefect and the chairman of the Consideration of a local peace committee whose composition. The Republic of Djibouti conceals several archaeological sites, the most important of which are located in Gobeb in the region of Dikil. Recently, Spanish archaeological mission directed by the head of mission has conducted an excavation in the Handogod site near Elea, where are listed several archaeological sites with a comma particularly on other places. And the Goa is a large-scale archaeological site discovered in the years 1917. Several teams GAPEC in the 77 and 17 and 18, the French team and the Spanish team are hence to file operation to understand the organization, the nature and the operation of the sites. For the past 2 years, the Spanish team has made it possible to bring new information as to architecture of a house and the mosque and also dating activity on site.
Ago. It was a full city, full of people and people that were in contact with the whole Red Sea, that were trading with the Danakil, trading with the Ethiopia and Somaliland, and they were involved in a complicated world of commercial and economical and ideological contacts with the rest of the world. And what we are doing here is trying to understand how this region endured for many years the stability and peace, while in other cases, in contemporary times, some other parts of the Horn of Africa are having trouble. So that's the focus of my research, and that's why we're working in Handoga. Handoga is the only medieval place that we know in Djibouti, but it's an exceptional place. It's a place that has more than 300 houses and other structures, and 2 cemeteries. A place that for many years was in contact with the rest of the Horn of Africa. And what we're doing here is to excavate several areas of the place to understand better how these people lived, how these people traded, interacted with other people, and how they, in a way, how they were part of one of the most exciting periods in the Horn of Africa.
And for the international scene, European Union member state decide on Friday morning to postpone effort to ratify an European-wide ban on the sale of a new combustion engine vehicle as of 2035, reflecting growing discontent over one of the central measures to achieve climate neutrality by mid-century. That's it for this edition. Thanks for your attention and a wonderful evening.